Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, KC Bubba and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. It's
getting choked up already, Bubba.
That's how excited I am about a 13-game slate, folks. When you talk as much as we do on podcasts, Bogman, eventually it's just like it all comes together. But check them out on Twitter. You won't regret it. And download the app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Everything in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. I'm on Twitter at BDentric, and the other voice, the chuckling, making fun of me here on the other side on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing?
I mean, I got to be honest. Your clip at the beginning there is nothing compared to my day. It's been it's been a wacky one. I dumped this whole thing filled with Crystal Light and water all over my desk, my computer, my cat already today once, and I've been a bumbling idiot all day. So I'm surprised. It'll be a surprising day if we get through this whole thing.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just unbelievable. But good day of baseball. I didn't get a homer, but Carlos Correa was 3 for 4. He had a huge game. So if you got him in your lineup, he definitely paid off for you. But it's a lot going on today. That's for sure.
Yeah, no home runs. The Astros continue 12 more runs tonight. Jordan Alvarez grand slam. I said it to Bogman on another show. Is like it was a thing I started doing last year. Is you make multiple lineups, make at least one Chiefs stack because the Chiefs just go nuts almost every week. If you do it every week, you're gonna make money by the end of the year. If you just make an Astro stack right now, you're probably gonna make money. They're just ridiculous what they're doing. And I paired them with a cheap Pirate stack that I talked about. It turned out pretty good. So, the Pirates came through in a big way because Carlos Martinez, thanks for showing up, kid. He had 6 walks through 3 innings, and then in the 4th inning, Reynolds went deep. Frazier went deep later. It was fun for the Pirates. They did their thing. But overall, fun night of baseball as usual. The Blue Jays went nuts, too. That was the thing. The Blue Jays and the Astros were both the 2 chalkiest stacks. So they went off, and it made things a little rough. But that's the way things go once in a while. But we
sticky stuff. We're getting way more runs, and the weather's heating up. Like it's all adding up right now, Bub. You're absolutely right.
And Harold Castro came in. He's the one that gave up the grand slam to Jordan Alvarez. He had a position player pitching for Detroit, and they searched him after the inning was over to see if he had sticky stuff.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. I tweeted out a joke saying, I wonder if they searched him. And then the Astros beat writer didn't tweet at me, but I saw he tweeted out like a little bit later that when Harold Castro walked towards the dugout, they stopped and looked and searched him.
I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing, Rob Manfred? This is what baseball is now, dressing down 50% of your workforce every time they go out to play. That is ridiculous to me.
They showed a clip. It was from either Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget which day it was, but the Mets had a pitcher make his debut, and he pitched very, very good.
I saw that, yeah.
And they were giving him a standing ovation as he's walking to the dugout, and the umpires stop him to search him, and the fans basically turn the ovation into boos. It was that's where we're at now.
Yeah, he's giving a hat tip, walking to the dugout, like, pull your pants down. I got to make sure you got no pine tar in there. Give me a break, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's just absurd. That's just a different happy stick, Blue. Don't worry about it. We're okay. So it's like, come on, guys. I made the joke. I said, just be glad Greg Maddux isn't pitching because he used to pitch with a little more excitement than others. You've heard those jokes, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Imagine if the ump came walking up to that search party. Good times.
I mean, I've seen a couple of those of, people going through security line at a stadium. And stuff like that. I know the exact one I'm talking about. The fanny pack one. Yep. You know it. So
fun times.
13-game slate.
13-game slate. I got Bogman flustered, folks. It takes work to do that. Like I'm telling you, it's actually like it's award worthy to get the two of us dancing around a subject without one of us using our warped brains to go the wrong direction. So 13-game slate, kicking it off for you here with the New York Yankees at the Boston Red Sox. The rivalry's back. 5-hour games are back. We got Domingo Germán versus Martin Perez. Oh, my God. We're in Boston, and the over-under is 10.5 in this one. So we got a doozy out the gate. Germán's 8,900 on DK, 65 on FanDuel, Perez 68 and 64. Stack them up, Bogman?
Yeah. I mean, look, in a short slate, I mean, in the slate we had yesterday or whatever, where, we could pick through 3 pitchers. Was that yesterday or the day before? That everything's blended together for me.
It was yesterday.
I think we need the All-Star break as much as everybody does here. But I'm not going with either pitcher here. I could see the argument made on a shorter slate, not on the big slate today, though. So, yeah, like you said, stack them. And there's a lot of PVB data here. We haven't had any for the last 2 days, a ton anyway. 5 for 12 for Bogarts against Germán with a double and a homer. 4 for 11 for Marwin Gonzalez against him with a double. 3 for 7 for Stanton against Perez with 2 homers. 3 for 9 for Voit, who just came back up off the IL with 2 bombs. 4 for 11 for DJ LeMahieu, who's eating up right now with a double and a homer. And then there's hot bats on both sides. Devers, Martinez, Renfroe, Dahlbeck. Gary Sanchez can't stop hitting home runs. And Aaron Judge went off tonight too. So everybody's expensive. It's, the Yankees and the Red Sox, of course, but bats are worth paying for in this matchup here.
Yep. Starting off with the big bats one. It was funny watching the Red Sox get shut down by Michael Wacha, but that's baseball in a nutshell for you. But yeah, both these bats are in play. Is it the best place to go? We'll see as the slate goes on. But over under 10.5. Perez was good to start the year. It's been getting quite shaky as it's been going on. So some of that right-handed power in that Yankees lineup could be very, very nice. Not to mention the Red Sox, as you stated earlier. And there is value with the Yankees, like we talk about from time to time with Urshela and Torres and company. So check them out. And the Jays are going to be chalk again on Friday. Baltimore Orioles at the Toronto Blue Jays. Matt Harvey. Is Manoah appealing his suspension? Is that why he's pitching tonight? He must be. He has to be.
I think this is it. I think it's over with today.
Oh, that's right. They moved his start back because they had K start tonight. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, so it was 5 games. He might be appealing. I'm not 100%.
Yeah. Over under 10.5 is the bottom line here. Baltimore, we're not using Harvey, but Manoah's 81 on DK, 77 on FanDuel. Interested in him as an SP2 potentially?
No, I mean, last time out was against Baltimore, and he only lasted 3 1/3, 5 earned, only 1 walk and 6 strikeouts, which is nice. But it's just, I don't have enough confidence on a big slate like this to go to Manoah. So for me, it's just bats. Ryan Mountcastle, 2 for 2 with 2 homers against Manoah. So he sees Manoah pretty well in that last matchup. Part of the reason why Manoah got chased real early. And then there's hot bats on the Baltimore side too. Cedric Mullins, Trey Mancini, Freddie Galvis, all hitting well recently. And then just, Blue Jays hitters, Bo Bichette, Reese McGuire, 24 and 22 has been hitting. Vlad, of course, anytime you want to pay up for him, you can. Biggio and Teoscar Hernandez starting to warm up, but his price is coming around too, 4,700 and 3,500. So, any bats you want to take in this game, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, Vlad's still expensive at 6,200, so he's there. The Jays are very, very live because it is Matt Harvey and that Baltimore bullpen. So stack them up if you got them. It's a great spot. There's no hiding that one. Manoah's intriguing for me as an SP2 just for the fact that his good outings, no home runs. His bad outing gives up a bunch of home runs. That Baltimore start, the first 2 innings, he was lights out, striking everybody out. Then he had home run issues. I don't know. Young kid, rhyme or reason. I don't know. I could see him absolutely dealing. I could see another ugly one. So in a tournament, he's definitely an SP2 option for me because his ceiling is huge at $8,100. There's just a lot of risk as well. So I'm kind of intrigued by him. And then get your Jays bats on because Mr. Harvey, the Dark Knight, not much longer for this game. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at the Tampa Bay Rays in this one. We have the wonderful Griffin Canning's 8K on DK, 73 on FanDuel against Josh Fleming, 7,200 on DK. Canning's been up and down like a roller coaster ride this year. Do you have any interest in either pitcher in this one?
No, I mean, look, my note on Canning is crazy inconsistent. So I'm right there with you. High K upside. So I get it. If you want to go with Canning, I have no interest in Fleming at all whatsoever. So for me, this is another game that's mainly bats, more on the LA side too. Ohtani, Walsh, Fletcher, Stassi, And then on the Tampa Bay side, I mean, they're a little expensive. I don't know if I want to pay up for a Rosarena at 5,500. Manny Margot still cheap at 31.28. Wanderers 42 and 3,000, probably getting to be. I mean, that's probably right where he should be priced, and that makes him kind of less interesting, especially going. What did he go 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts today? So
yeah,
probably a little less on him, but I don't know that I'll be taking a big bite out of this game on either side.
One thing I like is if you want some value, Taylor Ward's swinging it really well. He's 26 on DK, 25 on FanDuel, coming from the right side against Fleming and company. So you can go there. You got like Max Stassi. You got some nice power from the right side if you want. But yeah, not a game I'm like hardcore going after. So you did see the Rays strike out 8 times in 6 innings against Eovaldi on Thursday. So the strikeouts are there if you want to roll the dice with Canning. But yeah, I'd rather take the chance on Manoah than Canning. Let's put it that way. Atlanta at Cincinnati. We have Drew Smiley, my old friend, good buddy Drew, going up against Gutierrez. Drew Smiley 71 and 75. Gutierrez 73 and 71. We're just going back to the bats in Great American Small Park. Do any of the pitching interest you?
I mean, I probably have the same Canning interest that I have for Gutierrez. Probably about the same, but no, I mean, especially not Smiley. I'm sticking to bats here, and Castellanos. Pretty good numbers against Smiley, 4 for 10 with 3 doubles. So pretty solid. And then there's just hot bats on both sides here. Jonathan India, Tucker Barnhart, Tyler Naquin, Joey Votto. They're all kind of expensive, though. In the same deal with the Atlanta side, they're even more expensive. Ozzy Albies, who went yard tonight, 47.33. Freddie Freeman went yard. I mean, Freeman is just all that expected batting average is catching up with him in this week here. It's unbelievable. Guy is white hot, which is why he's 5,700 and 3,700. Acuna is crazy expensive, 63 and 44. I'd rather just take Vlad. Vlad's going to be cheaper.
Acuna hasn't played the last 2 nights because he's battling a back issue, so we'll see if he even suits up on Friday.
Right, and Guillermo Heredia, 29 and 22. All these guys have been hitting recently, so I mean, if you want to buy any of them, great. But Freeman is the hottest for sure.
Yeah, Freeman is the white hot, so you can definitely go there. You'll love Casty. He went deep on Thursday versus a lefty in that ballpark. India's swinging it well. I don't mind even Votto against a lefty, so there's a lot to like with the Reds in this one versus Drew Smiley. And also, if Acuna sits again, Swanson has led off both games when Acuna sits, and he's mid 3Ks on DK, and he's high 2s on FanDuel. And then Inciarte and Adrianza have been starting, and they're basically free. So
crazy that Acuna's price goes up after he sits.
It's because he's that good.
He is that good,
folks. He's that good.
Well, they're like, he got a couple days off. He's saving up all his homers for Friday. So
he's recharged the battery, as they say.
What is it, Chuck Norris? He doesn't sleep, he waits.
Yeah,
that's wrong with Acuna.
I believe it too. That's the crazy part. All right, another fun one. We already said Toronto will be chalky. Let's go to the Houston Astros at the Detroit Tiger. Framber Valdez, Willie Peralta, over under 9.5. So the Tigers maybe get a run out of this. I don't know. But Framber Valdez, 10-2 on DK, 10-7 on FanDuel. You got to love him on this slate.
One of the best options. That's why he's so expensive. Detroit strikes out 1,000,000 times. Willie Peralta is pitching for them tonight. Obviously, a hard pass on him. So, I mean, the bats are expensive, as they should be. Jose Altuve, 6,000. Brantley's 4,500. Toro is even 35 and 25. Jordan Alvarez is up to 6,000 after his grand slam. Carlos Correa, who is 3 for 4, 5,200. Yuli Gurriel is 5,000. They're all expensive, which makes sense. So you kind of have to pick and choose here. I mean, is there one? Michael Brantley's been so hot. I think at 4,500, he might be the best option here.
Yeah, him and Tucker at 42. You can look at both of them. Jordan has been worth the price every freaking game of late, but 6K is just tough to stomach. Like you mentioned, you have Vlad. If Acuna suits up, you kind of want to go to one of them for the other aspects they bring to the lineup. But Jordan's been darn good, darn good. So I'm there with you. But Brantley, I mentioned Tucker. Straw let off on Thursday. That's because Altuve had the day off. He'll be back towards the bottom of the order. There's a ton to like as usual with the Houston Astros. So stack them up and play Framber Valdez. That is one of your top pitchers on the slate. Pretty easy. I wish I had Joe Piece of PS Pipes. I'd sing you the Framber song, but just think back to the good old days. Washington Nationals at the Miami Marlins. We have John Lester versus Pablo Lopez, over under 7.5 in this one. Lester 67 and 69, Lopez 93 and 87. Lopez usually much better at home. Bogman, are you interested in Lopez against a Washington offense that, outside of that bloodbath in Philadelphia the other day, has been rather inconsistent?
Yeah, I mean, Lopez was great in his last time out, too. 7 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, no walks. So, yeah, I mean, let's get in on Lopez today. He's a nice pivot from Valdez. If Valdez is, one of the better options on this slate, Lopez is a nice cheaper pivot at 93 and 87. There's a little PVB data against him. Juan Soto is 8 for 17 with 3 doubles and 2 homers, but he has been hitting recently. So I guess maybe that's a little saving grace if you do want to play Pablo. 2 for 5 for Josh Bell with a double against him. And then there's some PVB against Lester on this team, obviously, too. 5 for 13 with 2 doubles for Jesus Aguilar, 9 for 32, a 281 average with a double and 2 homers for Adam Duvall, who has been hot. And Berti and Sanchez, Alfaro have all been hitting, and maybe the hottest hitter in baseball right now. Yep. Kyle Schwarber is 4,532. You just got to get him in there, Trey Turner, 62 and 4,000. Jan Gomes, it's a nice option. Starlin Castro, 34 and 23 is a nice cheap option that's been hitting as well.
Yeah, keep running that Kyle Schwarber train out there. My goodness, what he's been doing. But also, Josh Bell is going to get an MRI on his side, so you might get some Ryan Zimmerman for cheap if you are stacking Washington. One angle I do like, though, is I look for like my kind of cheaper stacks potentially, and the Marlins check that box for Johnny Lester. I wish it was in Washington because the Miami ballpark isn't the most conducive to large offense. But you mentioned Aguilar. Duvall is on fire. He's one of my favorite low-price tournament plays. You got Alfaro. Chisholm went deep. He's a switch hitter. You can mix and match. And then Starling Marte, of course. I love Starling Marte. So you can have some fun with this lineup and get a nice little stack, even if it's a small stack, like a Marte, Duvall, Aguilar stack. Get there. It's cheap. It'll help you pay for other guys elsewhere.
And I know Schwarber's garbage against lefties. I understand that, but how long do we expect Lester to last here? You know what I mean?
No, Schwarber's facing Lopez. You're fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. Yeah, so there you go.
You're good.
It's Friday for everybody, guys. It's Friday for everybody.
Yes, we're good. It's Freaky Friday. Kansas City Royals at the Texas Rangers on this one. We got Mike Minor versus Dane Dunning. Over under 8 on this one. Minor's 87 on DK. Dunning 64 on DK. I think both these pitchers have arguments to be made.
Yeah, I mean, Minor, I'll pivot to Minor all the time. You guys know that. First start of the year against Texas, he went 6 innings pitched, 4 earned, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, but I do like him here against Texas. And Dunning, Dunning has only gone up to 6 innings pitched twice this year. So, another guy who I probably would have liked on our 3-pitcher night the other night, but I don't like him here on the big slate. So for me, it's Minor and then Casey Batts, Whit Merrifield, Salvi Perez, Nicky Lopez has been hitting a little bit. Carlos Santana is affordable. If you want to go with Rangers bats, if you want to, Eli White is hitting 3,000, 2,100. Adolis Garcia is finally priced up when he stopped hitting. He's been picking it up recently again, though. Did he go yard tonight, or was that last night?
It was last night. They went twice, I think, the night before, so he's starting to get going again.
Right. And then Nate Lowe, he did go yard today, 42 and 29. So there's some bats to be had, but I like Minor as a SP2 option, and then a couple of these Royals hitters.
Yeah, no, I like those. I'm bummed. My normal cheapie Ryan O'Hearn's up to 3K on DK. He's 24 on FanDuel. He was always a free $2,000 home run call. But I like Minor quite a bit. I think he's a great SP2 on this slate in this matchup. And if you, like you said, if you want to go Kansas City, you can, just because you get Dunning out of there, you get that bullpen. Texas, again, one of the worst bullpens in baseball. It's all a part of picking these stacks. That's one thing you can definitely exploit. Cleveland at Minnesota on this one. We got Cal Quantrill taking on Randy Dobnak. The no over-under on this one. Quantrill 62 on DK, 61 on FanDuel. Dobnak just a pitch-to-contact guy we look to stack against. But Quantrill, SP2 punt. Interesting?
I'll listen to your argument, but I'm not doing it.
It's just Minnesota offense has just been cold right now. I don't know what it is with them. Quantrill looks better his last time out. The only concern I really have is how far does he go in the game? That's big.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a mega stack or a value, he went 5 in his last start against Pittsburgh, got you 12 DK points. He got 13 the time before against Baltimore. So he's not lighting the world on fire because he's not striking a lot of guys out. But $6,200. It's interesting. Not a must, but something to keep in the back of your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, and there's some PVB data here. 2 for 5 for Donaldson if he even plays with a homer against Quantrill. But Cesar Hernandez 2 for 6 against Dobnak, 2 for 7 for Jose Ramirez against him. And then there's hitters on both sides. I mean, Harold Ramirez is still cheap at 3,027. Josh Naylor 34 and 23. Eddie Rosario's been hitting a little bit, and the Twins bats haven't been hitting. But anytime you want to go with Cruz or a Rise, Kirilloff's been hitting a little bit. Sanoa's been hot, 41 and 3,000. I get it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like Minnesota, eventually they're going to wake up. So sure,
Right.
I want to stack Cleveland against Dobnak. Just they've been so inconsistent, but I will have some in there because Dobnak's just really not good at all. So it's definitely on the board. Seattle at the Chicago White Sox. Yusei Kikuchi, Carlos Rodon over under 7.5. Kikuchi's up to 9,200 on DK, 95 on FanDuel. Rodon 10-7 and 11-2. I think both these pitchers are very, very much in play tonight.
Absolutely. And, that's why they're both expensive here. Kikuchi, another good pivot off of Valdez. I think Valdez is probably one of the better options. But either one of these guys, Rodon, his first start of the year was against Seattle. 5 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, no earned runs. So he's only gotten stronger as the year goes on, too. So I really like him here. Or Kikuchi, 10 of his 13 starts have been quality. His K per 9 is over 9. His walk per 9 is under 3. He's been great. So I'm on either side of this, and it makes me kind of not interested in any bats here because I like both sides of the pitching.
100% agree. I want both pitchers in this one. No bats for me. Rodon is priced above Valdez, which says a lot. So it's a pretty interesting matchup there. Both pitchers in play. Pittsburgh at St. Louis. Will Crow versus Kwang Hung Kim. Over under 8.5 on this one. You got Crow at 69 and 62, Kim 76 and 68. I think I'm going back to some more bats in this game, Bogman.
Yep, let's stack it up either side. Key Brian Hayes 2 for 3 against Kim with a double and a homer. 3 for 6 for Eric Gonzalez against Kim. And then Brian Reynolds, Adam Frazier, Jacob Stallings have all been hitting. There's more guys hitting on Pittsburgh's side, surprisingly, than St. Louis's side. But if you want to, throw a dart at Goldie, Tommy Edman, Dylan Carlson, it's cheap, 33 and 25. I'm in on any of those guys. Yeah,
lots of value. Like the Cardinal or the Pirates always bring very, very nice value. So like Reynolds is a switch hitter, mashing left and right. So don't even worry about that. You mentioned Brian Hayes, Frazier, Stallings. Just see what the lineup brings out. You might even get some more guys. Phillip Evans pinch hit and went deep. He might play because the lefty's on the mound. Lots of value with Pittsburgh if you want to go that route again. And St. Louis, they got to wake up eventually, and there's a couple nice pieces, as you mentioned. So, yeah, both sides on this one. I like Pittsburgh more than St. Louis if I had to pick between the two. We head out west, the battle by the Bay. Oakland Athletics, San Francisco Giants, Sean Manaea, Johnny Cueto, over under 8.5. Manaea 98 on DK, 94 on FanDuel. Cueto 82 and 7,000. Manaea's been very good of late. So of the Giants' offense, Bachman.
Last 7 starts for Sean Manaea, 43.2 innings pitched, 1.65 ERA, 44 to 12 strikeouts to walks. So if you want to play Manaea, great. But here's what I'll say. You're absolutely right about the Giants' bats being hot. So with many other options, I'm not as into Manaea as I know you expect me to be, Bubba, and everybody else probably did, because I've been riding this Manaea train recently. Mm-hmm. I think I'd rather go with Framber. I'd rather go with Pablo Lopez. I'd rather go with Carlos Rodon. So I do like Manaea, and he's definitely going to have a lower ownership than he probably should because there are other options on the slate tonight, but I'm not going to do it. So I definitely don't want any part of Cueto. But, some of your Giants bats, Posey 4 for 11 with 2 doubles against Manaea, 3 for 9 with a double for Crawford as well. And like you said, Flores, Yastrzemski, Belt, Dubon, all hitting on your side. And there's hitters on the Oakland side too. Olsen is 2 for 6 against Cueto, both those hits being homers. Tony Kemp, Ramon Laureano, Matt Chapman, Elvis Andrus, Mark Canha have all been hitting as of recently. And, some of these guys, Elvis Andrus is 33 and 21, and he's been hitting. Tony Kemp's at 34 and 23. He's been hitting. So there are some nice bats here.
Yep. Both teams are very, very live. And this one's going to be warmer than usual by the Bay for a night game. Both these pitchers, they've been good. So I understand if you don't want to go all in, but I wouldn't be shocked if we see some nice offense in this game. So I think I'd rather take the A's versus Cueto in this one, But, the Giants, you mentioned some of the big guys, Posey, Flores, Ruff is back. Slater likes to hit lefties. So there's some interesting options if you choose to target Manaea, because I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. He's been darn good of late. I'll be the first to say I've been wrong on him lately. So if you want to go contrarian with Manaea, like you mentioned, he will be virtually unowned, and I could see some nice appeal there. But I don't see fading the Giants too much. Arizona Diamondbacks, San Diego Padres, Corbin Martin, Chris Paddock, over under 8.5. You have interest in either pitcher?
I'll give a little love to Paddock because the Diamondbacks are so bad, and 4 of his last 6 have been quality. So, yeah, I think he's a nice SP2 option and a decent price at 88 and 85. I don't want any Diamondbacks bats. You can take any bat you want against anyone in this Diamondback staff right now. They're miserable. Machado, Cronenworth, Fernando, Will Myers, Tommy Pham, Hassan Kim has been hitting 3,022. He's a nice cheap option. So probably just a Padres stack is viable against the D-backs.
Yeah, Ray Cronenworth has been absolutely ridiculous of late. And I'll tell you this much, Boggs, because it is the Diamondbacks. I'm kind of buying into Chris Paddock for tonight. It terrifies me, but he's been pretty darn good. 27 plus DK points in his last 2. He has at least 15 or more in like 5 of his last 6. So at least he's giving you a floor. He's going 6 innings in 4 of his last 6. Not giving up a ton of runs. He's got 6 or more Ks in 4 straight starts. He's appealing.
And all those
to that Diamondbacks offense. Whew.
Those 4 where he's gone 6 have all been quality too. So
yeah.
he has been good. He's kind of, he looked lost at the beginning of the year. His year started out like our show today started out. So he has gotten much, much better, as we have down the stretch here.
Yes, that's what we do. Better with age. So yeah, Paddock, I'm on that one. And then a Padres stack is Corbin Martin. Not good, folks. So yeah, start with Jake Cronenworth, build around that. I'm a big Cronenworth fan tonight. Last game of the evening, the Chicago Cubs at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jake Arrieta, Tony Gonsolin, over under of 9. Arrieta, we stack against. Gonsolin has been disappointing so far, Bogman. Are you a believer, or are you just putting all the bats in this one?
Hard pass on pitching here. Gonsolin hasn't gone more than 4 innings. So Muncy 4 for 10 against Arrieta with 2 homers, 2 for 7 for Bellinger, who's back up off the IL. No one's hitting for Chicago right now. I'm not really interested in them, which should make me interested in Gonsolin, but they've been babying him. So I don't want to, especially at that price, 9,500 on DK, 6,000 on FanDuel, but that's going to be your one guy on FanDuel. So pass. Give me, some shares of Pollock, maybe at 37 and 25. It's about time for him to get hurt again though. So that's interesting. 39 and 21 for Austin Barnes. Turner and Taylor are expensive, but you can take them if you want.
Yeah, Dodgers are getting healthy, so feel free to stack your Dodgers against Jake Arrieta. I'm with you there. You mentioned Muncy, Bellinger. Hopefully Betts is back. Chris Taylor is expensive as all hell, but he's playing great as well. So lots and lots to like on that one. If you had to pick 1 or 2 stacks you really like tonight, Bob, and who are your top stacks?
Oh, man, there's a lot of stacks to pick from. I guess if I had to pick 2, it would probably be Cincinnati versus Smiley and Toronto against Harvey. Those would be my top 2. Houston against Peralta, though, is pretty strong.
Yeah, I had Houston, Toronto, New York, and Cincinnati written down with Miami as my cheap one. So those are the ones I have circled for now. We'll see how things keep going as lineups come out. I think we're on the Framber train, so we got that pretty established.
Yeah.
We don't mind Rodon and company. So that's pretty simple. We're good there. With all that being said, folks, if you can rate and review on iTunes of the podcast, we'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to watch me fumble my words on camera, go check out the LineStar YouTube channel. That's a fun one there. Give it the old subscribe and the thumbs up. You will not regret it because there's always something at least once or twice a week where you're just like, huh, and these guys get to do this 5 days a week. Yep, that's us. So check all that out. And most importantly, check out LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar DFS to check out the home run calls of the day. They tweet out all kinds of other great stuff. Don't get me wrong. But the home run calls of the day is what a lot of people come for. And Bogman, myself, and Humphreys will pick a batter to go deep for you on Friday. And if you retweet the tweet, 3 retweeters will get chosen to pair up with each of us. And if one of us goes deep or any of us go deep, you win some free swag. So Bogman, on your Friday, June 25th, who is your home run call of the day?
Give me Vlad Jr. against Harvey. I think it's an easy call, easy peasy. And I see the face you're making.
No.
So did I take your guy? No.
No, I was checking my list. I made a list during the podcast over here of who I'm looking at. So yeah, you can go take your Vladito.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fair. That should happen. I'm with you on that. I'm going to go back to the juggernaut that is the Houston Astros, and I'm just going to kind of close my eyes and throw it at the dartboard. Jose Altuve. He had the day off on Thursday. You had him go deep on Wednesday.
That's right.
After the day off, he's going deep on Friday. So I'll take Altuve. You get Vladito. So should be fun.
Boom.
Hopefully Humphreys picks a winner because we're due for a three-peat, like a 3-pack of free swag coming your way. But more importantly, check out Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm at BD Hendrick. Big Friday slate, big weekend ahead. Hope everybody has a fun, safe time. We'll be back with you like usual on Monday to preview the next week of MLB DFS action for you.
Take it easy, everybody. Have a great weekend.